Hey, friends, fragrance lovers, and everybody out there, welcome back. It's Daddy Channel. Y'all know that this channel's changing, switching from fragrance to more current events and social issues type of discussions. But today, I did want to make a comprehensive, thorough list for you guys to give you, some quick pointers to know where to look to smell amazing and kind of organize some of these. So I hope that my knowledge here in this video comes out to help you, or is here to help you, and it helps you find a beautiful fragrance. So these are certainly some of the best that I've found. Of course, there's more fragrances out there, but let's jump into the list. And I'm not doing this for views. I'm doing this to organize this. So what are some of the best fragrances I've ever talked about, and maybe what situations could they be worn in? A helpful list for you. So. The first one is something attractive. I think you want to smell amazing. I think a lot, the views certainly show it. A lot of you guys are clicking on videos and watching it to be attractive, to maybe lure in a lady. If that's what you're watching this list for, I'm gonna start it out, but the rest are gonna be more for the gents out there. The maybe that you might say mature fragrances, but let's mention some of those. I do think that even if you're a refined gentleman, that you certainly maybe want one of these in your collection. Armani Code Profumo EDP, time tested and proven. I think it overshadows and maybe is better than the one by Dolce & Gabbana. Fantastic fragrance. Still, pick whatever you'd like. Spice Bomb Extreme could be your choice. Bold and spicy. The Profumo I mentioned earlier is a little bit on the root beer side. It's like a rich, dense sweetness. I know that some of you gents hate the Tonka, so don't go for that one. I have better stuff that you want to hear about. You could go for Mansart Oud Vanille. Yes, there's some sweetness, but there's certainly some personality. And I have to tell you that Oud Vanille, if for some people it'd be daring. It's not daring to me anymore, I guess, the deeper I get into the fragrance journey, but certainly one of the most attractive fragrances to other people that I've ever had on my skin. Montal's Arabian's Tonka, also extremely attractive, draws in crowds, gets noticed, and also sweet and playful. It's really good stuff, and hidden gem almost. People are sleeping on the Arabian's Tonka. It might not seem like it's that interesting at first, but ask what other people think about how it smells on you. You might be surprised. Okay, let's jump to the next point. I don't want to focus a lot of time talking about the attractive fragrances, but those are certainly some of the best and very winter appropriate if you are watching this video in the colder seasons, or you want to hit the town, you want to get out on the streets on the night, hit the club, however you say it. So the next one is cool and collected. Yes, fragrances for somebody who's maybe a little bit reserved, maybe wants to sit back a little bit, maybe the silver suit individual. So Absinthe by Nasamato is probably the best for that. There's no doubt that this is an amazing fragrance. If you like, imagine like a sour, like a licorice gin, but it's starting to go bad. It's a little bit sour, but there's so much character here. It's kind of woody in a really interesting way. Absinthe has a story behind it, so it's kind of like going with the poet, the rebellious poet of the past, or the artist, or the actor. So Absinthe is, even though it might not seem that interesting at first, it might seem strange to some people, especially if you're not familiar with niche fragrances. It's got this fascinating, playful side about it. It's got a little Joker inside there. So check that one out by Nasamato. You could also check out Grey Vetiver EDP by Tom Ford. Considered a classic, certainly grown up, respectable, very professional fragrance for the workplace. Can't go wrong with that one. You could also go for Pegasus Exclusive, or even the original Pegasus if you want something a little bit softer. Very good for the professional environments, very grown up and respectable, no doubt about that. The next fragrances here I wanted to talk about are the dark, mysterious fragrances for you, you gents out there, the grown-up men, the people who want to stand out, not in the Tonka way. We're certainly not talking about the Tonka anymore. We got Wonder Oud by Comme des Garçons. One of the amazing things about this fragrance, not only is it not really much of an oud fragrance, it's not animalic, it's not an aggressive fragrance, but it certainly has a dark, tantalizing nature. I think it's better than Encre Noir by Lalique. Encre Noir is a more affordable, or certainly the better value. Money for dollar for dollar, and the value in that fragrance. But Wonder Oud does smell a little bit better. I find it more enjoyable, and I certainly think that it's worth going for. And I think it's a good value. Again, especially if you can get a sale on Encre Noir for like $25. I mean, it wins, but I mean, don't sleep on Wonder Oud by Comme des Garçons. It's about 145 odd dollars for 100 mils. It's a good value for niche these days, that's for sure. If you want to go more on the tantalizing, unique side of things, you can go for Dark Knight by Francesca Bianchi. Also, if you want some of that inky vetiver nature a little bit. And there's, of course, other options out there for you. And we're going to jump into those. But hopefully that's, some introduction, invitation to maybe try some of the dark, mysterious fragrances. If you want to go on a little bit of a vintage hunt, I wouldn't overpay for it. I would, it's a screaming deal back in the day when you can get them for $20, $30. But if you can get for under $50, Dark Rebel by John Varvatos, another dark fragrance, it might just be worth it for you. Next, we'll talk about warm and leathery. I love spices and leather. I think it's a great combination. And there's some awesome ones that y'all might need to know of. Curacora by Le Orchestra Parfums is a new brand for a lot of people, the Le Orchestra brand. Curacora brings in this playful mango spices and this leather, but it doesn't go too sweet on the mango, but it does have some of it. And it's just fantastic. It's highly versatile, highly enjoyable, and so really surprised me that almost nobody was talking about it. Blew me away. Dior Cure Canage is the next one I wanted to mention in this category of warm and leathery. And if you know anything about Cure Canage, it's a little bit animalic, a little bit aggressive for some people, but lots of personality, very attractive, very high quality fragrances, and one of the best of the Dior exclusives, in my opinion, out there with Oud Ispahan and a few others. So love that one. Au Noir, also love that. Anyways, let's jump to the next one in this list, Baume du Doge. I don't know how to say that. By Eau d'Italie. If you don't know about this fragrance, I believe it's another Bertrand Duchefort. Beautiful masterpiece of a fragrance. This one doesn't have much of the leather, but it almost feels like it. Interesting, spicy, almost herbaceous fragrance. Lots of complexity. Has a little bit of this unique oiliness in it. Certainly worth trying, and it's a fair price as well. I'm not. You'd be amazed. A lot of these fragrances aren't on the higher end. They're, fairly priced. So that's one reason I included them in this list, is because there's some really expensive stuff out there. I don't think we want to talk or focus about that stuff as much because it's just not affordable. It's just not reasonable or approachable for most people. So let's jump into the next one. I wanted to talk about some statement makers. Maybe you do want to get some attention, but you're not necessarily trying to go to a club or get a lot of attention at a coffee shop or go, attract somebody. Maybe you just want to make a statement, with as a prestigious individual. Maybe you stepped up, you got that. You got that promotion, or you just made your own business. So statement makers, Ligno by Jeroboam, highly underrated. That one also a little bit on the dark side, but surprisingly brings back, I think, a little bit of that 80s powerhouse type of vibe. Might remind you a little bit of Zeno by Davidoff, and really good fragrance. You can go on Fragrantica, and everybody, almost, it seems like everybody who has tried it is pretty darn impressed if you like that style of fragrance. So certainly worth trying. Anateus by Chanel is the next one. I probably don't need to say much about Anateus, but certainly one of the best. I think it's far superior to than Koros. Hey, if you love Koros, more power to you. But Anateus, yeah, it's more expensive. But to me, the far better fragrance. Classy, refined, well blended. Has a little bit of that dirty soapiness underneath. Has some green vibes of that, that fougere element to it as well. Great fragrance, Anateus. If you haven't tried it yet and you love fougères and you've played around or gotten some fougères, it might be time to step up and see what people are talking about and give that one a try. Not for everybody. Very grown-up fragrance to some people. The next fragrance, also grown up, but great fragrance. Makes a statement. Makes you smell like a well-traveled individual. It's none other than the Boise de Portugal by Creed. A little bit of spice to this one. I love the watery, dewy vibe to this one. Boise de Portugal. Certainly a joy to wear, and I might just have to get myself a bottle. One of Creed's best. Hopefully they don't reformulate or mess that one up. They might, but still one of or maybe Creed's best that they haven't tampered or messed with too much. So let's jump, and y'all know that they messed up Aventus. We'll talk about that a tiny bit later in the video. But cozy charming. That's the next section we have here. Something cozy, something charming, something that's inviting, something that you might want to wear at a date. Not trying to overtly impress, maybe just wanting to get somebody closer to you and to feel that vibe that you have. So Jazz Club by Maison Margiela does that very well. Brings in that jazz, that smooth vibe, and at first I thought this fragrance was a little bit weak, Jazz Club, but maybe this is one of those fragrances that I can't detect after a while, but other people can, especially if you get close to a lady and all that. Jazz Club does something. It has something to it, so certainly worth checking out. Mahariz by Herbal Rio is the next one. This is one of the best spicy fragrances ever made. It's a little bit ambery, has a little bit of patchouli. It's got the spices. And Mahariz by Herbal Rio, I love it. It's so cozy, and I wear it for the holidays for sure. Now, this one did want to give a little bit of love for the floral lovers out there. I mentioned Oud Ispahan just a second ago by Iris Nazarene by Hades de Venustus. Also a nice fragrance, Iris fragrance, Iris Lover's Dream. So definitely worth trying, certainly worth exploring, and I think you should check it out if you want some florals. It's surprisingly unisex. A lot of guys out there would not wear it, but give it a try. If you do love Iris and the florals, might be something that you surprisingly could wear and pull off. And if your lady likes to feel comfortable around you and likes that kind of smell on you, it smells clean as well, you'd be surprised that you can pull that in your favor. So the next fragrance is Seaside Fun. Aqua de Parma Colonia or Intensa can work in this section for sure. I didn't want to go purely for aquatics. I did want to mention the good old Colonia. There is the Blue Mediterranean line that you could explore. The Aqua de Parma fragrances don't really last the longest, but they're good quality, especially if you get them on sale. And get a good value on them. So Colonia and the Intensa as well are good fun in the sun fragrances. There's the Allure Homme Edition Blanche. Again, I'm not really highlighting too much of the aquatics, but this everybody calls that one like a custard, lemon pie, but it's not that much of a gourmand. There is a little bit of creaminess, but there's just that lemon. A little bit of lemon to it, and it is a little bit creamy, but it's just refreshing, and I think that's the best part of it. It's a refreshing fragrance that's easy to wear. I think it's a little bit overpriced, but certainly one of the best fresh fragrances that I know. Tom Ford's Rive d'Ombre is a hidden gem, but kind of discontinued, kind of hard to get. Now, this one has a tiny bit of an aquatic nature to it. I did want to mention this one if you are hunting for something a little bit more unique. It's kind of subtle as well, but if you do want something for a fun, that gives you a fun memory and does something special, fun in the sun, pool party, whatever, afternoon swim, by Louis Vuitton. Absolutely. It has the best opening. I think the fragrance falls apart a bit after it dries down, but Afternoon Swim has one of the best citruses openings of all time out there. There's no doubt about that. So next we have Wedding and Professionals, or Professional Situation. Reflection Man is still maybe the best of the best. There is the new 45, I believe it is, the higher concentration version you could check out as well. It's not as clean as the original. Reflection Man, still probably the best wedding fragrance of all time. There's Dunhill Century still out there for $25 odd. Amazing values on that one. Really better than a lot of the other clean soapy fragrances out there. Far better value than like Prada El Homme. Dunhill Century, people are sleeping on it still, and I tried to talk it up. So it goes a little bit more on the sandalwood side, but you'd be surprised that it works. It works almost everywhere. If you want something a little bit more grown-up, classic, vibes. No, I don't know if I'd call it a fougere, but it's definitely on that classic side of things, timeless side. The Ligue pour Homme, Ancre Noir, but the Ligue pour Homme, also a stunning juice and still out there for a very good price, at least the time of this recording. So let's talk about. I mentioned Aventus. Y'all know that they reformulated it, and it's been messed up. So what are some fragrances that are better than Aventus? Because the Aventus train never seems to stop, and people want to know where to go or what to do. And I'm not the biggest fragrance channel in the world, so please get the word out on what are fragrances that are better than Aventus. Going forward after 2019 or after 2020, what can we get that still gives us pineapple, but it's better than Aventus? So check out Piranha. I'm not sure how you're supposed to say it, by Boise 1920. This is the citrusy one. This is the juicy, fruity one, and this rekindles some of that love. It doesn't have any of the smokiness or the oak moss particularly. So if you just love that fresh, easygoing vibe, that crisp fruitiness, Piranha is your choice. Hoctavat by Nishane does bring some of that smoke and some of a little bit of the oak moss of classic Aventus. And I don't think a lot of people love Hoctavat. I don't know if everybody knows about it, but if you do like the smokier batches or remember the more intense batches of like the 2014 and the 2015, 2016 batches of those too, you might be impressed by Hoctavat. The next one is Cedrat Boisé by Monsar. Y'all all know about this one. It doesn't have much of a pineapple to it, but somehow it still rekindles or has some of that Aventus feeling in this fragrance. It is a little bit sweeter and denser. Might be too sweet for some of you gentlemen out there, but Cedrat Boisé, still a very good, playful fragrance, highly versatile, good performance, and a great alternative, especially if you're going for compliments, if that's your kind of thing. Cedrat Boisé for the world of Aventus is amazing. So the last topic is hidden gems or discontinued stuff to look out for. So I wanted to mention Tom Ford Italian Cypress. I think this is an improved version of Polo Green. I think it's an amazing fragrance. It was highly underrated, and it blew me away. Italian Cypress, one of the best fragrances out there. Cartier Declaration on Soir EDP. If you didn't know, yeah, they did make an EDP, and it was a little bit spicier and more intense, and I loved it. It brought in some cardamom and made it a real seductive fragrance. So I did want to give a little bit of love for maybe the gents out there who do want to wear the rose. And again, if you do like the rose as a gent, please try Oud Ispahan. But again, this one might be seeking out if you ever can find a bottle. Another one that's now sadly discontinued, that's a real hidden gem out there, is Mugler's Pure Tonka. Absolutely a gem. A little bit sweet. Y'all probably don't want to hear about Tonka, but it had some mint, it had some character, and a little bit of chocolate vibes to it. If you stuck around to the very end, you get the secret menu. You get the secret sauce. You get the special sauce. Thank you for hanging out with me. And I'm going to tell you about some special fragrances for you crazy fragrance nerds and the people are on the deep side, the crazy side. These are going to be a little bit more unique fragrances that, might not be for everybody, but are certainly going to be fun to try. So secret menu fragrances, we got Corpse Survivor by Bruno Fazzolari. Shocking name, scary name to some people. It's a unique, incredible, bold, loud Chypre of sorts. So if you love chocolate, you want something crazy, it's really fun. Umaguma also is pretty darn crazy, but Corpse Survivor, love it. Lots of personality. The next one is Sulper Niku by January Scent Project. If you like creamy sandalwood and unique vibes and something that's a little bit subtle, something that's a little bit meditative, Sulper Niku, I think that's a little bit of a Japanese inspiration over there. Fun fragrance. Very good fragrance for the sandalwood lover. The next one I wanted to mention was Freeway by 4160 Tuesdays. I felt like I didn't give y'all enough aquatic fragrances. This fragrance really isn't an aquatic, but it captures, I think if you do love aquatics and love that feel, this is like an everyday fragrance. Maybe if you don't want to wear the aquatics, it's got a lot of interesting textures and vibes to it, and it has, for some reason, conjures good memories for me of traveling across the country. So try out Freeway by 4160 Tuesdays. And if you haven't explored the house of 4160 Tuesdays, some of them are hit and miss, but there are some fun ones like Old Heart of Old Havana. Fun fragrance. 4160 Tuesday. Explore that house. The next one is Arrakis from the House of Tenzion Terenzi. And now this also is a unique, almost like a modern Chypre. It does use tonka. It actually has the highest quality tonka that I've ever seen in a fragrance. And if you maybe really hate tonka, I know I mentioned and joked about tonka a few times. but this might be a fragrance that actually converts you to tonka. So Arrakis is a truly very well blended fragrance, and some of the quality really sings out for me. And it's one of the few fragrances that really blew me away, especially pretty recently. Another one for you patchouli lovers, did want to give some love out there for you guys out there. Gallagher has a fragrance called Behold Patchouli, very highly concentrated, very rich. Does go perhaps a little bit on the chocolatey side, but there's lots of different types of patchouli, multi-dimensional patchouli. So it has fancy patchouli, and it has like that clean, crisp patchouli. It has that chocolatey side. It has everything, and it's bold and it's loud, and it lasts a very long time. So if you want that a very bold patchouli and you want it multifaceted, like Vetiver for the vetiver lovers. Lots of different vetivers mixed in a playful way together. Also, the last fragrance I wanted to mention was Javoy has a fragrance out there called Private Label. Now, I've mentioned this fragrance before. If you want to smell like $1,000,000, you want to smell like $1,000,000, my friends, you got to check this fragrance out. It smells classy. It smells refined. If you want to smell like you got wads of cash in your pocket, trust me, it's worth checking. I hope that y'all enjoy this video, and it was fun. I didn't have a lot of time to go through these fragrances. Please explore them on your own time. Go to fragrancce, watch some reviews. I have reviewed many of these fragrances if you want to try to find the videos. But certainly hope that we had some fun today. Let me know below. Did you like this topic? Did you like this list? Was this a helpful video? And fragrances will change, prices will change, things will get discontinued, time will go on. But as far as of this recording, these are some of the best. Some of these are quite a few of these are niche, and they are what most people would consider expensive, but I think that they're priced right and they smell good, and they're a good value, considering other brands and how much they charge and what you're getting for the money. So with the performance as well. And some of them didn't perform the best. I tried to mention some of those that didn't. But anyways, let me know what you think down below. Thank you for watching this channel. I'm not going to make too many videos that are actually fragrance related. Very few of these are going to come out in the next couple days or weeks. We're about to switch over. Let me know how much you like this video. Let me know if it was actually worth your time, or my time. So I'll see you soon, everybody. Have a good one. Peace out. Please subscribe and like and all that good stuff. I'll see you in the next video. And bye.